This is King Lock again, and this is my appeal. Yeah, hear me? Man, dash where your pride and get your prostate check. Yeah, hear me? Come and say dash where your pride and get your prostate check. Yeah, hear me now? Yo, this is King Lock, and I'm appealing to all my brothers over the age of 40. Please go get your prostate check.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings. I'm your host, 10-Star General, and we are back with another series. We're going to be doing a series this week. We've been away for a little while, and we are now back for a little while. This is a 4-part series where we are going to be talking and addressing prostate cancer, which seems to be affecting quite a lot of us lately. Today we have with us a guest. Before we talk about our astute guest who is waiting in the waiting room, I'm going to let Sharon introduce herself, and Sharon will do us the honor of introducing this prominent individual all the way from Jamaica. All right, Sharon.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, I should say. We're happy to be back, but we are coming back with fire because prostate cancer is running rampant in our communities all around the world. And this is something that's dear to both our hearts, as we both had fathers who passed to that. So that's our big target today. But our esteemed guest, yes, and this is the original Sharon Mango, our esteemed guest today is here to tell us about his struggles, his journey, and where he is in the situation with prostate cancer. It's just a big deal. I'm emotional about it because we've lost so many, too many to speak of. So without further ado, 10-Star General, without further ado, our esteemed guest, the one and only, one of a kind, Big Stone from Big Stone TV. There are no words for him, really, because this man is phenomenal. There are no real words to describe him. He's an all-rounder, and he is a God-blessed child because this man here has a story to tell us, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. So, introducing Sir Mr. Claude Big Stone Sinclair. Welcome. It is such an honor and a blessing that our eyes can see you. We're blessed. We are blessed, my friend.
Well, first, I must say thank you so much, Miss Sharon Mango, for such a wonderful entrance. And thank you so much again for such a beautiful entrance in terms of your word and how you express yourself and so on. It is very important that we have this subject, and to have me here explaining my plight, what I have been through, my experiences. What better person to say than me? I've experienced every aspect of the trauma that prostate cancer can bring. Every aspect of it. So feel free to ask me any question. I don't care if it's personal. I don't care how it sounds. Ask me any question about what I experienced for about 5 months, right? 5 months since my diagnosis. Ask me anything that you want. And thank you so much, 10-Star General, for having me as your first of the series of 4. I am elated, to be number 1 in anything. Sharon makes you feel good. So I am very elated, right? I'm very elated to do it. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I tell you what, it's always a blessing to have you on the show, and there's always one thing or the other going on in Jamaica as well as the rest of the world. I remember when you came on our show and you were saying that there was a certain percentage of black males who are suffering from prostate cancer. And as a matter of fact, it said Jamaica had the highest number of people who were suffering globally from this thing called prostate cancer. Lo and behold, like you said, roughly 5 months ago, you mentioned to us that well, you mentioned to me that you were suffering from something called prostate cancer. How did that all begin in the first place? Share with us your journey till where you are right now.
Well, it's a very long journey, but I have a way of speaking on rapid, so I'll condense it for listeners. It's a very long journey. It started about last year, in September last year, when I first noticing that when I urinate, it has this burning sensation to it. And I said to myself, wow, do I have a urinary tract infection? So I went to the doctor real quickly. And the doctor gave me 1 week supply of high grade antibiotic to make sure that whatever I'm experiencing go away, because the pain was excruciating. Went back to the doctor after 1 week because the pain was just as if it was the first day that I went to the doctor. After I went to the doctor and spoke to the doctor said, this appears not to be a urinary tract infection. You need to go see a urologist. So he referred me to Dr. Garrett Reed, very great urologist, and immediately said, we need to do a digital rectal examination.
Right.
Now, between me and you, Ken Star, when I look at the doctor's finger, his hands were this, his fingers were this long, because that stigma, that pump in my mind, because we in Jamaica have this, nobody no want, nobody go around this, so around this, so you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
His fingers appear 100 times amplified. When I thought about the excruciating pain that I was experiencing, I said, boy, I have to do this. So I did the digital rectal examination. And between me and you, it was a jiffy. It didn't go there playing a football match up my butt. It didn't. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, brothers out there, man, unless the doctor is of a certain character, nobody wants to linger around there. They're professional people and they'll do it real quickly. And this is the one I preferred. I'm going to tell you why later on. After I did the digital rectal examination, he said, Mr. Sinclair, your prostate should be the size of a walnut. Now your prostate is twice the normal size. Twice the normal size. You know what you need to do? You need to go to the lab right now, today, and do a PSA test. I didn't even know the meaning of those words PSA. Anyway, went to the doctor, did the PSA, got back my results the following day, went back to my doctor, urologist, and he said, Big Stone, your PSA is 72.81. That is way out of the ball field. Your pace should only be between 0, 1 to 4. What are you doing at 70.81? This was in September. So he said, you know what? We need to do a biopsy. To tell you, brothers in Jamaica, biopsy is extremely expensive. If you go to the public hospital, then they probably do it for free, but then the line is so long that life is very important. Early detection, as the poster says, save life. Anyway, boom, boom. I did the biopsy. Days after I did the biopsy, I found out that I couldn't urinate. About 1 o'clock in the morning, I can't pass my urine. What's going on? I can't pass my urine. Anyway, I called a friend of mine because the pain was so excruciating. Eru, and you'll hear me talk about him from time to time. And I called Eru, and when I called Eru, Eru told me that, listen, you have to go to the emergency room right now. This can kill you. Anyway, I got to the emergency room. I was there for about 15, 20 minutes. The pain keep going back and forth, like a woman in about to give child's birth. So the contractions start getting closer. It started out at every 20 minutes I feel the urge. Then it went down to 15. Then it went to 10. Then it went to 5, 4, 3. and it started to get closer and closer. So it's the closer and closer this contraction gets, is the more pain that I feel. The doctor finally came to me after I was bawling out loud in the hospital. Jesus Christ, help me, Father God. I bawled out because the pain was so much. Anyway, he came.
How many weeks in were you at this time?
Remember, since I did the PSA, right, it was about 3 weeks in.
Okay.
Right, because I had to take a little time to get the money, 130 something thousand dollars together to do it. So I want to big up my family, from my wife all the way down to my grandchildren and my brothers and sisters who helped me. But I want to get to the meat of the matter. So anyway, he came out very arrogant. It looked like he was upset. And he took a 2 sizes too large of a catheter and forced it. It up in my penis.
Yes.
Jesus, this man was so wicked. No anesthesia, no nothing. And the pain I felt from that is equal to the pain I felt when I couldn't urinate. Anyway, I had the catheter in for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. The inconvenience of having this thing, this foreign object attached to you. It was so inconvenient that one time, and let me tell you something, guys. I want you to listen to me. How embarrassing this can be. I went to bed one night, about the 3rd night, and you know when you empty your bowels and so on, you do it involuntary because it's not attached to the urethra. It goes straight into that hose, into the bag. So I went to bed with no fluid in my bag. When I woke up, I was walking with fluid all over the bed because accidentally I rolled onto the side where the bag was, and I smashed it. And everything came out. The place was ranked for about 2 months. I had to sanitize the place all over again, right? Because late detection forced me to where I was. Anyway, did the biopsy. I waited about 4 weeks. It should have come back on the 21st, which it did, but he didn't call me until the 27th of December. It's when he called me the 27th of December. I said, Mr. Sinclair, I want you to have a seat. So I said, this is not looking good, Mr. Sinclair. I said, what do you mean? I said, the results of the biopsy came back cancer. And this much we can tell you immediately. There's a report known as the Gleason report. It tells you how aggressive your cancer is. And a scale of 1 to 10, a scale of 1 to 5, you have a slow-moving cancer. They don't even have to worry about you. You'll die before cancer catch up with you. That's how slow-moving 1 to 5 is on the Gleason scale. But when it gets to 6, it gets a little bit more aggressive. When it gets to 7, a little bit more aggressive than 6. But when it gets 8, 9, and 10, it is the most aggressive form of cancer. Now, I'm asking you real quickly, where do you think Big Stone was on the Gleason report, between 8 and 10?
Oh, boy.
Big bad 9.
I was a 9. I don't have to wait for you guys. I was a 9. 9. I got into panic mode. I started to read everything prostate cancer. And it's like every time I talk about it with you, 10 Star, I would cry. Right? Remember, I talk about it with my wife or my children, my ball out, you know what I mean? Because I'm fearful now, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And they tell me there's no cure, only treatment. Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I start to read around. Then he said to me, Mr. Sinclair, in order for us to know where your cancer is, we have to do a CT scan. That's another $140-something thousand. Now, I struggled to get the 130, but for the grace of God and my family, I was able to obtain it. Now I need 140. If I didn't have 130 readily, where 140 is going to come from? Mighty God used me as an ambassador, and he made it appear. Family, friends, and so on. Quickly, I had 140,000. And I did the CT scan. When the CT scan came back 4 days later, my doctor called me into the office again with the report, and he said, Mr. Sinclair, we have further bad news. I said, what is it? He said, well, Mr. Sinclair, I told you before on the 27th that you had prostate cancer. Well, now I'm telling you that you have stage 4 prostate cancer, and it has spread Sharon Mango, spread. What are you talking about? No, I am going to die. I said, spread where? Him said, well, it is from the prostate outside into your hip and into your left knee. I start to panic. I'm telling you straight up, I panic. And I said to myself, oh my, I'm going to die. But I became even more angrier. How come this happened to me? Where was the awareness level? How come I didn't know? I'm into social media. I read the newspaper every day. Then I read that Jamaica response is the leading country for prostate cancer. How could that be? What I want this up? Me not understand what I want. How could that be? I said to myself that, listen, I have to get a hold of myself, get angry, but get angry in a positive way. And I got angry in a positive way. Boom, I called the newspaper. Blah, 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 blah. Article came up. Big Stone is suffering from stage 4 prostate cancer. And then, don't be like me, Jamaican men. Go out there and go get your prostate done. And I start a campaign. The comrade leader, Mark Golding, please, sir, could you do an ad for me? Yeah, we have to make this awareness level because I guess whatever process that you all was using wasn't working enough. An inquisitive mind like me didn't know that after age 40, you must go get your prostate check. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I heard it along the grapevine, don't get me wrong, but I didn't pay any attention to see how important it was. And what if you don't get your prostate examined at an early stage, what it can lead to stage 4 cancer and eventually kill you.
Yeah.
Immediately after that happened, Martin Luther King's son died, age 62, from prostate cancer. I start to tremble and get more angry. And then after that, O.J. Simpson died from cancer. And we start to get up. What is then because you're experiencing this disease, then everything that has to do with disease amplifies. Then the King of England, what's going on here? The King of England has prostate problem. Then I get more panicky, you know? But at least I said to myself, I'm not alone. We have other prominent people with me. So it's not a crime of just on me or I did anything wrong. It can happen to everyone. Every man has a prostate and every man has cancer element. A matter of fact, everybody has cancer element in their body, which is dormant. And trust me, I went and I started to do my research. You see what this book says? Complete Guide to Prostate Cancer. Complete Guide to Prostate Cancer. You see it?
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I'm saying to brothers out there, man, go get educated. Go on. We are in the era of information. Go out there and get your information.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward and start telling about the pain. 10 star, the pain wicked. When this thing is like it become alive, 10 star. I start to attack my body. So at 11 o'clock it starts. Then 2 o'clock it get wicked. 4 o'clock I can't sleep. Sometimes I open up my door, go outside in the yard. And then eventually I started to walk with a cane. A cane. That means that something is wrong. Big Stone is dying. I'm losing weight, 10 star. At this time I was weighing 269. I'm happy for the weight loss, don't get me wrong. But I'm now down to 230.
Yeah.
28, man. And it started because my neck started to get smaller. And my hair started to get bigger. And it started fitting clothes that I wanted to fit in. That's the good part about it for many, many years. I know fitting these clothes easily. And I noticed something. I reach out to Nesbeth, to Turbulence, to Abidjan. I reach out to Shashamali, all the way in South Africa. I had people from all over the world announcing this thing, attacking this disease, because cancer is something that is alive inside of me. I talk to it and tell it, listen, I never invite you in my body, so we come out here, move from boy. I deal with it, aggressively. And then the newspaper article came out the 29th of January. And a man called me, I can only call his first name, his name is Kevin. And he said, Mr. Sinclair, I read the article about you and all the great things that you have done. And that's why I'm imploring tonight to all my brothers and sisters, do good things. And when you do good things will attract good things onto you.
Yeah.
Anyway, when he said he read the article, he called his father and tell his father to put everybody on hold. We have purpose to save. We have to save this purpose. This man cannot just go like that. Anyway, I got a call, and in the night, his father called me and said, the first question he said to me was, "What was your PSA?" And I told him that it was 72.81. And then he said, it could not have been 72.81 because you did your PSA in September. And now, 5 months later, so your PSA must have been well over 100 or so. Then he started to treat me. Only know this form of treatment, the bottle of noni. And the bottle of noni, I took a house, glass, this thing. And I started to take it for 7 days. After I take the noni for 7 days to detoxify my body, he started me a 8-ounce bottle of treatment. And I stopped eating meat, right? Chicken. The only thing I was eating was fish. I was drinking most coconut water, no regular water. I've not drank regular water in months. And I started to touch my body. And I followed the instruction to the T. All when the pain get wicked now, I was riding it for a while. And one at a time I can feel it battling with the medication. Because today, the second I feel it, I don't feel it again. But then it come on again, like a tug of war, fighting for yes, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm happy to say when I went back after those 3 medication, my PSA came down to 15.93. I told my urologist and said, "This is impossible. That can't happen. No, sir. Where this man come from? How we are though?" But my herbalist wasn't happy. He said 15.93. Come here, you, and try me in again. More medication. I'm gonna sit in and take the medication and watch me diet. Then my PSA came down to 5.16. Then I tell my urologist, because I correspond with both of them. My urologist said, "No, this is impossible. It's only an act of God." I said, "You got that right. It's an act of God. You got that right." What his number? I can't tell you his number because Dr. said and all them things start frustrating. Anyway, I sat there and I felt good. I said, "Yes, I'm 1.6 away from the so I got a little confused. Out one evening, feel hungry, ignore my diet, and get a nice brown stew chicken with rice. Serious, a nice plate of brown stew, and you want to see me go in and eat it, brother. When I went back to do my PSA came back 5.60. When I went back again after 3 weeks to do my PSA, it came back 6.08. My herbalist says, "Something you're not doing in a man. You're doing. You better stop what you're doing. You want to live, you have to buckle up and live." I mean, I come hardcore now. I'm not going too hard in your program here, but I just want the brothers out there. My herbalist got serious and said,
Amen.
"Let me tell you something, little you. Come here." And then draw me. I said, "But I said something. You only put what in your mouth, what I tell you to put in your mouth, and nothing else. You hear me? I know you're 66 years old, but get a hold of yourself, right? Your purpose, and you have to live. You must do the right thing. You must do the right thing, because I'm giving you the medication that can cure you, not to heal or prevent some. What I'm giving you can cure you of prostate cancer, but you must follow the instruction that the Almighty tell me to tell you, because it's not me. I'm sitting again, man, and start to follow. Vegetable, fruit juice, green juice, eat right, no meat, no. The only thing is I look at steamed fish every once in a while. No curry, no vanilla, no chocolate, no caffeine, no white bread, no dairy products, no milk, no nothing. And I start to just zero in. And I'm pleased to say that my PSA level is now down below 4 at 3.2 1.
Wow.
So it's now 3.21.
3.21, which is below 0. 0 to 4 is the tolerable level, where
Yeah.
it's comfortable. But what happened to me is an act that I think the Almighty put me in that position to do this and to experience it first one. Every aspect of it I experienced. And that's what I brought to you today. But
Yeah.
it's a little bit more than that. Here we go now. 10 stars. Coming up to you. Ladies and gentlemen, our host 10 stars, my friend. And is a man that I have the ultimate respect for. Maximum amount of respect for 10 star, because I call him sometime when I think it's 4 o'clock in the evening in Jamaica. It's midnight and beyond. You know what I mean, Sharon Mango?
Yes, yes, yes.
10 star, when you do a voice over to me, and I'm in my bed, Big Stone. But he always get up.
Conversation.
I love this man, not because of what he can do for me, but just how he tolerate. And then he put me on this pedestal. Him see me as this greatness, which motivate me to and make me want to even do more, because I cannot make him or let him down. And I said to you, I said, 10 star, when was the last time you had your prostate examined, man? I'm okay. And I did it a while now, but I'm okay. I keep saying 10 star. It's not enough, man. Please, 10 star. Do it, man. Go get your prostate examined. And then 10 star come again and he said, yeah, Big Stone, I'll get to it, but are you urinating okay? Yes, I'm urinating fine. Do you get a X amount of time? And no, I'm not. None of those symptoms, Big Stone. I'm fine. And finally, one day I looked him in the face. I said, 10 stars, don't play around with me, man. I love you too much, man. I am purpose, your purpose. I told you what the experience, man. I didn't lie to you. I want you to brave up, and go do your prostate examination. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't say nothing more. I'm going to turn the floor over now to my friend 10 star.
Well, I remember that night when you called me, because I think it was that morning you were going through some serious pain. And yeah, you were really in some horrible pain. It was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, rah. I said, have you taken your painkillers and everything like that? And he said, listen, check your prostate. And there's nothing that he could tell me that I wanted to entertain the thought of me going to get my prostate checked, because I already know that it's the finger test. And, no man ever wants to go through the finger test. So I'm thinking about the finger test and all that. I said, no, man, me not do it. But I woke up that morning and something just urged me to go and do it. So I went to see my doctor and he did his thing. And during that time, he said he wasn't happy. He had to go in and he told me that I've got to put myself in for the hospital. So I went to the hospital and they did a PSA test. And after doing a PSA test, they said they weren't happy. And then eventually we did an MRI and I think something called a CAT scan. They did every single test only for them to come back and tell me that I have prostate cancer. So I'm like, what? Are you sure you got the right readings? Because we went back and forth with it. And they said, yeah. And then I said, what was the reading? And they said 3.5 or something like that. So I said, that's fine. They said once you're 1 down to 4, that's nothing. They said, no, it's not like that. They say you have cancer. So I said, wait, you're telling me 3.5 and I have something to worry about? And they goes, yes, you have to act faster. So they say you have one which is moving slow and one which is moving fast. The one which was moving fast was, because you spoke about the Gleason report.
Right.
And mine was a 7. So I remember coming to you and I said, they told me my thing is 7, what that mean? And then you broke it down for me, you know. And ever since then, I've been in and out of hospital. But one of the symptoms that I was going through is like something used to call fluke pain. Like maybe I was imagining the pain, but it's not really there, kind of thing, or is it phantom pain they call it? I forget which one it is. Phantom, I think it is.
Phantom.
Yeah. And then it's like electricity going up your leg into the groin area and then moving really, really slow. But you're holding the groin. It's like, oh, this pain don't really come across as normal. I was getting it quite too often, especially in the nighttime, because you mentioned around 11, and that is roughly around about the time I would get that pain in the nighttime. And in the daytime, the odd occasion I'd be walking on the street and then you're holding your crotch because the pain is like, what? So that made me realize that I really had to buckle down with this thing. I think the first 2 to 3 weeks, I was trying to get my head around the fact that this is cancer. Because I'm saying to myself, but I've been eating right. I cut out the rice. For a long time, I did cut out bread and various other things. And I'm thinking to myself, because my mind went to a place where my father had prostate cancer. We had no knowledge he had prostate cancer up until he died. And they told us specifically on the day he drew his last breath that it was stage 4 cancer. And they said he must have known he had it, but he kept it from us. So the mere fact that he kept it from us, it was one of the main reasons I was thinking to myself, we have to break this curse. I call it a curse where, our parents say you shouldn't talk about this or you shouldn't talk about that. I'm thinking to myself, well, if he spoke about it, we would have been able to have done something about it. Or maybe, you know what I mean? Short. I mean, lengthen his days by getting himself checked, getting some sort of treatment. But he never spoke about the pain he went through, and I said we have to really break this curse that we don't talk about these things in public. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show and bring on the people like yourself who are able to eloquently explain themselves, talk about the effects, talk about, because one thing you mentioned, which is early detection saves lives. And, basically that's where I'm at the moment, for us to talk about these things and just get it out into the atmosphere so that people may hopefully go out there and get themselves checked, you know.
Well, I must say this, and I have to show this to the world. This was actually designed by 10 Star. It says, "Victory is mine. God gave me the glory." 10
I
Star
like that.
designed that for me. And that is why we become so close, because we're joined at the hip now. We were joined at the neck and the head, but we're further now joined at the hip.
Mm,
By our testimony today and what he said and what I did, I want you to be a pain in, I can't use the word but because that would differ, but I want you to be a pain in there. Annoy them. Go get your prostate examined. Go get tested. Go do the right thing. Because if you don't do it, if I had somebody prodding me like how I was prodding 10 Star,
yeah.
then the detection saved lives. My
Mm,
urologist told me that if I had found out that I had prostate cancer and it was contained in my prostate, then the
yeah.
only thing that I could do was to remove my prostate and I would be cancer free today. But that
Mhm.
didn't happen. Early detection save life. And that is our motto. And we're going to be saying this throughout the program. Early detection save lives.
Very, very true.
And not to mention the amount of money it costs. You know, if you have to go to the public hospital, let me tell you, Jamaica has the highest percentage of prostate cancer anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It is the Kingston Public Hospital, seen in 1 year over 3,700 patients. In
Mm.
1 year, over 3,700. And out of the 3,700, over 787 as prostate cancer. And a lot of people walking around with prostate cancer and don't even know that they have it. You know what
Mm.
they call stoppage of water, what they call when you can't urinate? They call it
Right,
Right.
stoppage of water.
right,
And
right.
stoppage of water, we think you got it from eating too much black pepper or
Mm.
too much asham or whatever. No, you
Mm.
got stoppage of
Prostate.
water from enlargement of your prostate.
Prostate.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
The,
mean?
the other thing that I want to address, you did a biopsy. How did your biopsy go?
That's when I did the biopsy. I told you it cost 135,000.
Did they keep you awake?
Oh, well, get though. That's scary. Let's get to that part. I think I kind of slipped out on that part.
Right.
I personally, when the doctor explained to me the procedures,
Hmm.
right, it was a little scary. So I opted to be for anesthesia.
Okay.
That is why it came up. It would have been about 90 something thousand dollars,
Mm.
right, to do the biopsy. But because I opted for anesthesia,
It's going to
then
be
talking
more.
about $35,000. I mean,
Mm.
135,000. Now the thing about it is, on that day, that Saturday, the 18th, we were supposed to do it about 1 o'clock.
Right.
1:30, the anesthesiologist can't show up.
Hmm.
3 o'clock, I know the anesthesiologist didn't show up. 4 o'clock in the evening, now me start to get impatient now. And my
Mm.
daughter Claudia Sinclair flew down from the United States to give me some support. And it was Saturday, and she was leaving the following day. And I
Mm.
said to myself, anesthesiology or no anesthesiology for my
Mm.
daughter, because I don't want to live for me anymore. I want to live for my children. And for my children's purpose, I'm going to do this without anesthesia.
Mm.
So they set up the thing, and when they set it up, I felt a little prick. That's when I guess they injected me. And the only thing that was annoying is when they was actually doing the clipping from the prostate.
Mm.
14 times a year. Click. So when we got down to the last six, the doctor said, hold on, Mr. Sinclair, you're doing great. You're doing great, Mr. Sinclair.
You're
Without
brave.
click. Count with me. Five, hear me. Five, four, three, two, one. Get the longest time in the brother. That one doesn't win this one. I'm going to because man, get this thing over with. I'm down to the wire now. I can't hear one.
Yeah.
The magic sound of one came out and I did it. A little bleeding, not much, and little inconvenient. I had to go home and rest for the rest of the day. I couldn't sit up.
Mm.
But that's about it. Anything is not anything a man can handle. You know what I mean? And the rest
I
is this.
could. I
Yeah,
couldn't handle it.
I know you couldn't.
I couldn't handle it, and that's why they had to put me to sleep. And
Yeah.
the thing was, here what I'm about to tell you is kind of twofold. So they're now realizing it's extremely painful. They had to quit, while I was awake. So
Wow.
they're gonna have to come back and we're gonna have to put you to sleep, which is what they did. So I went in. Uh, Over 3 hours later, they tried to bring me around, but they
Wow.
said I gave them a little bit of a scare. But they said nothing more than that. So a week later, I now see the surgeon who's going to perform the actual surgery because they gave me two options: either have your prostate removed or do radiation. Right.
Wow.
So I now opted to have it removed once and for all because I spoke to a few people who had the same procedure done, and I said, okay, I'll get it removed. So little did I know, I go in for the pre-assessment, which is 2 days before the actual operation, And the surgeon sits me down. He's looking at me, Mr. Winkler, his name is. And he says, listen, he goes, why do you want to do this operation? So I said, because I got prostate cancer. He says, and you chose to have your prostate taken out. I say, yeah. He said, do you know what happened to you during the biopsy? I said, well, they took their samples as far as I know. They said I gave them a bit of a scare, but that was about it. And he says, no, we actually thought we lost you on the table.
Wow.
They were not panicking, but scarpering to bring me round, right? And they said it took them the best part of 3 hours to try and bring me round.
Wow.
Long story short, is like I had a dream, and the dream was I had gotten to the heavens and I saw my father, and my father opens the door and he says to me, go back. So I say to him, do you know how long it took me to get up here? I said, it took me forever to get up here. He says, go back. I don't want to see you here now. So I storm off, and I remember being vexed in this vision. So I storm off, and for some reason, it's like in the same vision, I wake up, but I fall asleep again. This time, I'm going back to the same place, and I'm seeing the back of my brother's head, and my brother says, "Go back." I couldn't make it up.
Well, you know something? I can tell you what that was about. That was an outer body experience where you see the light. It was on the brink of death, but it's not your turn.
Not my
They are
turn.
not ready for you as yet.
I hate saying that with
We
my
have
mouth.
some work to do along with Sharon Mango, and we have some testimony to reveal to the world because
Yeah.
this program, I know, and I would hope later on people can ask any question they want to ask me. I don't care if it's personal, uh,
Mm,
because then I'm going to touch another part of my illness, so you brothers can understand what's going on.
mhm.
Trust me, when you went through and you saw that door, if you had gone in, then we wouldn't be talking to Tim Star today.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would have lost you.
Yeah. So where are you now in terms of your illness? I know you're 3.2 now, right?
3.21.
Yours is even better than mine now.
Yeah,
So
I'm
what
at
what
3.
what happens to you now? So do you still go for a PSA test to see
Um,
how far it's gone?
I did it
And
about,
and share with me, are you taking medication?
okay. I want my brothers out there to be extremely clear on what I did. I don't say you should do what I do, but this is what I opt to do. I used to take a bag of medication, right? A lot of tablets and so on, but I don't take them anymore. What I do is that every 3 months, there's an injection that you get to, if there's any cancer elements in your body, it's prevented from moving rapidly.
Mm,
And I wouldn't want to be sitting here, and even though my PSA is down to 3.21, something underneath is moving rapidly that I don't know, or the PSA didn't detect it. And next thing you know, I'm 6 feet under. So what I did was an emergent. It's like a parachute, a light.
mm,
I'm giving myself also protection from an attack, a
mm,
covert attack, so to speak. So every 3 months, I go
mm,
get injection, but that's about it. And then I
mm.
maintain my health, my diet, eat right, and so on, and I feel great. When I can afford it, though, I'm going to do a CT scan, which costs $140,000, and
Mm,
that CT scan will tell you exactly where the cancer cells are, if any.
yeah,
But I want to further state this in you talking to me on my own personal life. I have 5 children. We give thanks. 4 sons and a daughter. And once you have any interference with your prostate, brothers out there, it can jeopardize the fact that you won't be able to make babies anymore. So you have to make that decision: remove my prostate or try to make some babies and die.
Mm.
You understand where I'm coming from? They're beautiful children that one can adopt out there, and they're beautiful kids that need us. And if I ever want a child again, a bambino, I would adopt a child.
Mm-hmm.
As I speak right now, and I'm able to produce children.
Mm.
What the injection does, and that's why, guys, I want you to early detection, save life. Go out there from age 40 and start follow up on your PSA and do your thing, the prostate. Check up on it. Because this is what is going to happen to you, what is happening to me. Because of the injection. What the injection does was, back in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, they used to physically castrate you, which means remove your testicles. Physically. So they would turn you from a man into a woman. Because from you ain't got no, you know what? You ain't got no to stand up to me. You know what I mean? So you're not a man anymore. But they don't do that now since the 80s. What they do is they medically castrate you. So that injection that you get is medically castrating you, not removing your testicle. But what it does is, because your testicle becomes a reservoir of blood, and it feeds your prostate, and it feeds the cancer. With the higher testosterone level, is the more feed you're feeding to your cancer, right? So what it does is, once you kill that reservoir and keep that reservoir dry, then it cannot feed the cancer and that's your life. But what my urologists tell me, cancer sometimes can be so intelligent. That's why I tell you, it's alive. It's a human being trapped in your body, and you have to use psychology and don't let it get the best of you. Because after a certain time, certain medication don't work anymore. It mutates. It changes course. So some people have cancer and then they hear that it come back, and it come back more aggressively. Is because it knows all the blueprints of where you went and so on, and all your the what you call defensive mechanism that you had placed in that door, that treatment. They know where it's at, so they match that and come back at you full force. Now, when it comes back at you in full force, your lifespan become extremely short, and then you're gone. So that's why I'm telling you guys again. Hear the word: early detection can save your life. Know that doesn't go just for men; it also go for women. So Sharon, I think you've been sitting there for quite some time. You know, I think we need more women who are learned in the avenue of prostate cancer and can further help their husband or their spouse or their male friends. So let's hear from you. What are your thoughts of what I just explained? And 10 star.
Well, you know, I been through it with my father, and
Wow.
it was a process.
Wow.
My father was a very stubborn man, but my sister, my sister-in-law, we had gotten him to the clinic, did the test. They said yes, he has the cells, he has the cancer cells, and we got it in time, supposedly at the time, and he opted for the radiation seeds. I'm sure you've heard about that, where they fill the ball sack with the seeds. So he had to, whenever he could, because my father worked, he was a master mechanic, and he worked, so he had to walk with a biohazard sign in his car. Wherever he goes, biohazard. He had to have that in the car, that he had the radiation seeds put in. He's doing okay. And then they found another spot. And the other spot was, I guess, near his back or something like that. It was, I don't know. So they decided to do the radiation. He's doing the radiation now, like the live radiation. He's doing all of that. Okay, he's doing well. And we're seeing that the radiation is now burning him from the inside out because he just turned black. He just. And during this time, he did have the catheter in. So he was going. Anyway, my brother and I was home. My mother, fortunately, was a nurse. My brother was home. Me and my brother was home. And the bedroom's upstairs. And we just heard screaming. And it's a scream that when you were talking about it, Big Stone, when that pain hit you, when you were talking about it, I felt it because me and my brother I will never forget. It's the scream. When he screamed, he said, Sharon, he kept saying our names, like Marky, Sharon, Marky. I've just never seen anything like that in my life. By this time, it looked like he had gotten an infection and he could not pee. This time it's not coming out. The pee's not coming out, but the standing there in front of this man, this great man, and I put you in the same caliber, just a great man, watching him scream in pain. There are no words.
That pain is nasty.
The pain, but he couldn't even say I'm in pain. He just kept screaming my name and didn't know what to do with himself. I called my mum at the hospital, and we got him to the hospital, and it was an infection that caused nothing was coming out. For about a year or two, he was doing okay, and then it spread again. They found a few more spots, so they had to do a colostomy. You couldn't go. It was a process. So doing this is big for me because my mother asked me to look up her grandfather. Okay. So I've been doing my historical research all the way back to 1870 something. I'm finding grandfather, great grandfather. Do you know, Big Stone, when I looked them up, I found their birth certificate, marriage certificate, and death certificate. I looked at all these gentlemen, both on my mother's side and my father's side. I looked on their birth certificate, what I died of.
Prostate cancer.
Stoppage of water, prostate cancer.
Wow.
Going back to 18 something. So I'm still doing my research. I said, this is big.
Yeah.
This is big. My father's father died of prostate cancer. We were told at the time, this was 1980. I'm not stoppage of water, man. That's it. Prostate cancer, early detection can save lives. As you stated, I have 5 brothers. I had 6 brothers now, so I'm on them all the time. There's 3 of us girls and 6 brothers. One of my oldest brothers too, I took him to the doctor. He had to go for a biopsy because his prostate was enlarged. They checked everything, it's fine. We're just trying to bring it down. He has lost the weight. Thank God there is no cancer, but it's a constant. All my brothers now are taking the steps to eat right, do right, teach your sons, eat right, do right, because we might say at age 40, go get checked. They're checking them earlier now. Big Stone, they're checking them earlier.
Yeah, that should be. Give them more time.
Give them more time. Go and get checked.
That's true. I'd say even when you get to your 30s.
Get checked. Get checked. For myself, of course, there's the prostate and breast cancer being what it is for us women. Big killer. I've lost a few like that. When they checked me, I don't even know if I even told them so. When they checked me 2 years ago, we're seeing some things. You need to get a biopsy. Now I'm checking every year. I make sure, and I'm dreading this thing because I know that I have what they call keloid skin. If you cut me certain places, it's gonna rise up. So I was terrified because it's my breath.
Yes.
So I told the doctor, I said, listen, is there any other way that you can do this? No, because I have keloid skin. No, I did it. And thanks be to God, it was clear, just dense breast tissue.
I up to you said any other way can we do this? I just refer back to when Ken Starr was saying that he was scared of the finger. But I just want to let the brothers them know wherever you are that you don't have to use a finger. Technology have advanced now that you can use ultrasound.
Right.
Ultrasound can tell you. You can use an MRI, and the MRI can tell you. But remember, I told you before, I opted for a digital rectal examination. It's quick once it's a professional, and you know right there on the spot. So remember, early detection save lives. So even a minute worth of you being early than late, then it's important to you. All right. Another thing I must tell you. Remember your prowess as a man growing up and your masculinity and how many girls you had and so on and so forth. Because of the treatment and because of the type of prostate, you're not again, you're not going to be the man that you thought you were back in the 10, the 15, the 20, 25, when you're going to shoot your pee and it goes way over the roof and so on. All that, forget about that. What you're focusing on is your life,
Right.
people you can save around you, right? All your family life can benefit because of you and who you are now and the fact that you're alive. That is what is most important. And remember, good karma, because bad karma attracts bad karma. Good karma attracts good karma. And when you do good, can you imagine a Big Stone, a man that was born in Enfield, St. Mary, had people in the Caribbean praying for me, people in the UK praying for me, people in the United States, all over Europe, Jamaica. Can you imagine the Almighty God being bombarded with thousands of prayers about this one individual? I'm not saying the most perfect person on the planet Earth, far from being it. But when you try your best to live for the sake of others, then it comes back. The gods will be happy with you. And then guess what? He will extend your life a little bit longer. I should have been gone already. Because remember, I told you I have 9 registers on the Gleason report. Very aggressive. You understand? That cancer should have been eating me up by January. I should have been gone. It's telling me that, Big Stone, this is dangerous. This is serious. If you look at the Simpson, he's gone. If you look at Martin Luther King last son at age 62, I'm 66. Next month I'll be 67. He's gone. So early detection, make sure you pay attention to your health. Make sure you check out your sons, your uncles, your fathers, your brothers. Check them out. Your friends, tell them to go. I know sometimes it's a ticklish kind of thing when you look at a man and ask him, so when was the last time you had your prostate examined? Most men don't really do that, you know. But I'm saying you're not funny, and if you want to think you're funny, so be it. You know, when was the last time you had your prostate examined? I'm going to ask you. You want to think what you want to do? Go ahead, but I'm asking you as my friend because I don't want you to experience that pain that you hear Sharon Mango spoke about, that pain that you hear Ten Stars spoke about. I can tell you it's one of the wickedest pain I ever experienced in my life. And toothache, I've had toothache several times, and I thought toothache was the pain. Toothache is nothing compared to in your hip. 2 o'clock in the morning, you feel like grinding it, and that pain, and there's no pharmaceutical that you can use to curtail that. Nothing, no painkiller, no antibiotic, nothing. You have to just fear it, and then the Almighty God first. Reach out, man. Wherever you perceive that God to be, man. Reach out. reach out to him, man, because he's real. And I could say she's real. I don't
Mm.
put gender on my God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we know. Understand?
Yeah.
Yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah.
If
Uh,
anybody asks me any questions out there, be feel free to.
so what was your daily diet?
Well, normally when I get up in the morning, after I finish my medication though, because I was just having the barley for porridge. Every 4 hours I used to get up and take my medication for three
Mm.
days straight, every 4 hours. So I would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, eat
Mm.
my barley hour before, because the barley acts as a conduit to the
Mm.
medication that I was getting. And I had that for about 3 weeks.
You said
Mm.
barley porridge. Is that what you said? That's what he said, right? Barley? Did he
I
say?
think he's frozen. It sounds like it. Yeah, he's frozen.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, I think he's frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna try and see if we can get Big Stone back.
Yeah.
But like he said, early detection saves lives. And it wasn't until I was diagnosed with the cancer itself I started to find out what was good for fighting cancer. You know, and one of the things that I found out about was the power of soursop. You know, um, as a matter of fact, it's claimed that soursop is the number one fruit that actually fights it. One second, you back with us?
Yes, he
Okay,
is.
good. So we found out that soursop is the number one fruit that actually fights cancer. Also, coming to understand the power of dandelion as well, which is also good as somebody sent it to me. So I've been drinking that in the morning also. Also, the power of purple, because I buy purple sea moss, which is supposed to have, I think it's 120 different minerals in it, So that combined with soursop is what I've been eating in the morning, you know, of late, you know. Every now and again,
Watermelon is good. Um,
right,
Watermelon, also Guinean weed is good.
get and read, yep,
Yeah. So you mentioned soursop already. Guava
guava.
is good, and a lot of coconut water
Hmm.
because I don't drink
Regular
regular
water.
water. I don't care because the pH that they say is
In
it's
the-
natural. And most of the
Right.
time you go to your fruit place, you have to be careful with your fruits too because they use all kind of chemical to spray the
Yes,
plant and so on,
that's
and
true.
that
Right.
leads into it. So you might not. They're telling you it's organic, but it's not. So you have to
Right.
be careful where you eat.
Right.
Another thing also, I am very inquisitive. If I go to a restaurant to eat, I'm gonna ask the chef, do you put in benzoate in it? Do you put in MSG?
Right.
What kind of ingredient, what kind of seasoning you use? Because these seasoning, remember I told you about that brown stew chicken that I ate?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Did it because I didn't eat anything else other than that chicken,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And I even told my fans about it, right? So I know a lot of people might be asking they want to get a number for my herbalist. Can I say it? Can I say the number?
If it's okay for you, if it's okay for you,
Yeah, he has a number that you can reach out to someone. He
Yeah.
only specializes in prostate cancer.
Hmm.
He has been doing this for over 7 years, right? He just get up one morning and the Almighty God told him to do it. And the
Hmm.
herbs and the different combination came into being. So you have to be spiritual too. That is what helped me because I'm a spiritual person. You
Yeah.
mhm,
can't go through this world thinking that everything is okay. No, there's a supreme being that governs all of us
Yeah.
and governs our movements. And what you do to others will also help you in return. So
Yes.
bad things to others. I don't care which God you pray to, you're not gonna beat this thing. It's
Mhm.
going to keep you. But you try to straighten out your life in every aspect of the way, do good to others, like others do to you, and then you have a better chance of fighting this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I,
Agreed.
why it's so dear to me and close to my heart is because I know that in my country and in the Caribbean and in those African diaspora
Yeah.
where prostate cancer is so prevalent, it does affect men of Caucasian and Asian, but not as
Yeah.
much as it affect us. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying this. Where did this this stigma started? Where did it come from?
Mm.
I'm going to share with you real briefly. Back in the 1800s, when they had us on plantations, they would take the most prominent slave
Mhm.
when they want to teach him a lesson and to put fear, to instill fear into the other slaves. They would strip him, beat him to a frazzle, and then they would have men have intercourse anally with him.
Mm.
Call it butt breaking. Buck, you say Buck, buck breaking,
Mm.
but buck breaking.
Mm.
And I think that is where the stigma seeps on down into our DNA because it happened on every colonized plantation that they had. They used to take it for a joke. All 4 or 5 of these colonizers used to just go from plantation to plantation and attack our men. And
Mm.
that emasculate our men, effeminate our men. And
Mm.
when they do something like that to you, you becomes less of yourself. Your self-esteem is lowered. And most of the slaves that happen to end up killing themselves.
Mm.
That is why the taboo is so people just see it as fearful. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
just to have anything once you mention around there, it's fearful.
Yeah.
Mm.
They don't want to have anything at all. They don't even want to have that conversation with you because
Yeah.
of fear. But I'm telling you guys, I did it. I did the digital rectal examination. It was done by a professional doctor, Dr. Gottlieb. Big up yourself. And he worked miracles for me through the Almighty God, with the teaching of the Almighty God. I'm gonna give you my herbalist number
Mm.
so that if you all want to, if you want to, if you want to probably give him a call.
Yeah. So once again, this is going to be the first of four, a conversation about prostate cancer. Tomorrow we do have another guest who is going to be Lascelles Douglas and Michael Mendez. All right,
Mhm.
going to be the same time, same place, right here on SPRB Radio Podcast. If it's your first time, help us to subscribe to the channel. Just click, click, click.
Click, 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 of course. And
You
I'm
know,
speaking to all of my subscribers. I'm
sorry.
speaking to all of my subscribers. I want you to subscribe to 10 Star SPRD
Mm,
broadcast because he's not only a great host, very informative, along with, of course, the great Sharon Mango.
mm.
Mhm.
She's not no number 11 and a stringy mango. That about Sharon is the East Indian mango of the crop. And that's the most expensive mango that we have in Jamaica, the East Indian
Yes, yes.
for Sharon mango. And we're in mango season now.
Mm, I know.
I'm trying to find my
You can
herbalist.
find the number.
Yeah, so that um
We can also post it on the actual description as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
So anybody who wants it, we'll post it there too. You know.
of
I think
course.
this has been, I think that it was imperative that we started to do this.
Hmm.
Big Stone, you have been the strength and the voice for many people. I want to tell you that when these people are going through their things, you go through it with them. Their pain, their suffering, you've always done that. But God gave you your own test. Believe that He gave you your own test. You were tested because you were ready to give up, and you know you were ready to give up when you first heard that news. And for whatever reason, that second voice, I would say that's God, it was like, I'm gonna kick your ass today. You're not staying in me, and you found your way until somebody came for you. That's real talk. I want people to hear what I'm saying, because we are all given a test, and we are tested to the point, can you do it? What you gonna do about it? You found this out, can you do it? Okay, here it is. Just like when 10 Star found out. He was on the breaking point. I wouldn't let him break. I refuse to let that happen, because you have to go through this in order to tell your testimony, to help others. We all go through certain things. Just like you. You were the supposed, Big Stone, were the supposed impossible. No, that can't happen. No, sir, no, sir. No, it can't happen. Can't happen. You were one of his biggest tests and his biggest strength. You're one of his biggest gifts. It was important for you to come and tell your story. It is important for you to tell people it's okay. You want to cry, cry. You want to fight, fight, but don't give up. It was important for you to tell this story, because there are so many out there, especially in Jamaica. I may have no family. There is so much of them out there who's really afraid, and how you told your story today cut those fears. I don't care what anybody says. You cut those fears, because it's real talk. It's from being a strong man to a point where you're not going to be that man you were, just like you said when you were younger. You're in another phase in your life.
Yeah.
And that's the transition, because men go through these things and hide it to the end.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They hide it to the end and don't let nobody know what is going on. But really and truly, when you look in the mirror, you don't see no pruny old man. Look on Big Stone, look at him face. You see any wrinkle? Look at the man look.
You know what I mean? Man's aging backwards.
It's like you're aging backwards. God is saying, try now. For real. No one understands. Your purpose was so great.
Thank you.
Somebody came for you. It's like, well, you come see me. That is our blessing. Continue to do good things, good words, good deeds, good thoughts. That's who you are. Good words, good deeds, good thoughts.
In parting, I would like to say to Sharon Mango and, of course, Ken Star General, thank you so much for giving me this platform, which is another platform, guys, I want you to tune into, so that I can tell my story, my experience, my testimony, my pains. And ladies and gentlemen, all those who are watching, I did not lie about anything that I went through. I told you the truth.
Yeah.
Exactly. A matter of fact, I bawl like a baby. I told you I was bawling. I bawl like a baby. And maybe a bad. You know, Jesus Christ, whoa. You know, that kind of bawl. I'm telling you, I cried. You know? So when you all gave me the opportunity to come and speak about this, and like I said, I did a lot of research on it. I want you guys to research your body. And I also want to say to women, because women have this problem of not going to do their examination. Sharon, you could do a show on that.
Oh, I will be. Oh, trust me, I will be.
Who are suffering from cancer of the cervix, mammogram, you know, breast cancer and so on. And they're scared, and yet still they take a lot of money, and they pay for Brazilian ear, eyelashes way out there. So
It's
Yeah,
true.
and they don't want to take care of themselves. Women in Jamaica,
Right.
I'm telling you, we have similar results, just like our men, when it comes to certain types of cancer in Jamaica.
Yes, it is.
And
Women,
it's causing cancer for
yeah,
real.
and,
Yeah.
ovarian cancer, and they're very scared. They don't want to do the test. Some of them say it's uncomfortable, this cold metal thing, and so on. And a lot of people find different faults and excuse in going and get tested. But early detection can save your life.
Mm,
You catch mine early enough, and that's why I am exaggerating that
mm.
you must go out there as early as age 40 or 35 and go get your test.
We'll get
Yeah.
And if you have a friend that is stubborn like 10 star, which we know not stubborn no more, no stop biggie, man. You know the little thing them call the mini fly? When you have a little cut and
Right.
I go and the mini fly
Yes.
and you have a little soap. But a lot of people don't know that the mini fly, what they do when they bite your sore was actually giving you ingredients to cure it. You know,
Right.
people didn't know that when like certain snails on your body, they use it to suck certain disease from your body. So
Yeah.
that little ninja fly, I was like that, and then oh, you ever see a horse then with his tail and my flash with the fly, and then one at a time I got to my kick, but then started me that one at a time. Big Stone, listen, I'm my own man. What are you trying to tell me? I know I told you, Big Stone, I'm okay. But I am that little ninja fly. Oh, that little mosquito. You ever watch?
Zing, zing, yeah.
Yeah, and him come back again at night. I was like that to 10 star. I never
It
ease
was.
up. And I'm happy today that I did, because he found out that he's suffering from stage 3
Yeah.
prostate cancer.
Mhm, mhm.
But
It could have
there's
been
more.
worse. If I didn't get myself checked, it could have been worse. You know.
And
And I have to, because I have Sparky Melody in the place, and I have to say that he was a guy who was there for me from the beginning, drove me to the hospital, drove 2 hours to be there with me, and it just made me understand the power of having good positive people around you, from DJ Maestro in the room, to
Yeah.
Sharon Mango said if I ever gave up the ghost, she'll come down and tell the funeral people that can I have a moment with him, please. And then
yeah,
when they locked the door, she said, "Oh,
Yes,
don't be up."
me tell him so. You not
me too.
know. Yes. I
And
did.
then I'll be right behind you, Sharon. Yeah,
Yes.
oh, this is where I go. No, so you never happy. No, you're not feel
That's
left with.
right. That's right. That's
I
right.
said, "It's a good thing my father sent me back." He said, "Go back."
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
true.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great, I
Yeah.
had a wonderful time, guys. Thank you again for the invite and all the fans
Be-
that's been watching.
Before you end, and before you say a few words before you exit, tell us how important the people who have supported you throughout this ordeal, how important have they been to you personally?
Wow, wow. I have had hundreds of phone calls,
Mm,
hundreds of texts on my videos. Because what I used to do, 10 star, every time I get my PSA check, I would
mm,
use my camera. And so people was following me on my journey.
mm,
And the amount of prayers that people send in texts and pray for me, even in my WhatsApp, it was what that worked even alongside with the medication. But those prayers, those great friends like Duke, Sparky Melody, yourself, 10 Star, Sharon Mango, and, trust me, it's
mm,
like that, FEM White, Major FEM White, Paul Burke, Dr. Julius Garvey, you know what I
mm,
mean? These are some of the people that really helped me and motivated me and strengthened me, and the family, not to mention my family, my wife, Dormalie Sinclair, my daughter, Claudia, who came to see me 3 times. and was there holding my hands when I did my biopsy. Thank you,
Mm.
Claudia, Sean, Shane, all my grandchildren, my brother, sister, Una, Glenn, sister Faye, Marcia, Karen. Thank you all for the support. I could not be sitting here today without
Mm.
the support of a very tight family.
Mm.
Thank
Yeah.
you all for this. So friends and family most. Can remember where the money come from, almost $300,000. Where the money come from? We never have it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I want to big up also Sadiq Williams from Real Helping Hands. They did a crowdfunding and that helped tremendously. Big
Yeah.
up Lance, Abijah, Nesbeth, you know what I mean? Comrade leader Mark Olin who assisted me on the campaign and so on. I want to big up all these people because I hope I don't miss out anybody because
Yeah.
everybody's the chain is as strong as its weakest link. The
Yeah.
journey 1,000 miles begins with the first step. So every person along the way is important. And if I had not been for your interference, I've come this far. It's
Mm.
not over. I'm still fighting. I'm still fighting because whenever you stop fighting is when the devil takes control of you or anything that is negative wants to take control of you. So I watch my diet, watch what I drink, watch what I eat, watch the type of people that I associate myself with. Because if you associate with negative people, people who just, you know, like when I first tell somebody about me, I stage 4 prostate cancer,
Mm. Mm.
joking it. So when it's a night, you know what I mean?
Mm. Mm.
You know what I mean? But it didn't go to that extreme, but I'm just telling you it can.
Mm. Mm.
People might
Mm.
say things to you, but they hope the worst ever
Yeah.
happen. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
fix them, feel them, and avoid them. You don't want to hear anybody feel sorry for you. You want
Mm.
people to say that, hey, you can do it, you can make it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, yeah, boy, a big son is sorry for you, and a big son. Me don't want to hear that because when they
Mm.
see that I'm on the verge of death, I'm
Mm.
alive. I'm
Yeah.
restored. Thank you.
Listen, you've been a blessing to me too, because if it wasn't for you, you know what I mean, your persistence, I swear, as God is my witness, I would never have got myself checked out. And it's only because yours was stage 4. And I'm like, what? How did you let it get to this stage? And I said, I have to get mine done. You know what I mean? And you were the sole reason why I did that. So I take my hat off to you. And I know they say man not to tell man say they love them, but me love you, my brother.
I love you too, my brother. I'm not busy one say, I'm not busy. I love you. I love you. I love you, my brother.
Yeah,
I
man.
love you, man. That is why I
Because
was that ninja fly. Because I don't want have to come on your film and want to tell us I love you a million times. And that is one problem that we have. When you're dead and gone, them have this big book of how great 10 Star was, Big Stone was good, boy, I'm nice and so on. But they
yeah.
refrain from telling you when you can hear it and
Hmm.
feel it that I
Yeah.
love you. So I
Yeah.
reciprocate, my brother. I love you
Yeah.
more. I
Yeah.
love you more, man. And I'm
Yeah.
so happy that I wasn't a ninja fly for nothing.
Too funny. No, it was
and,
very
and
funny.
and and I have to say that I think it was the first or the second week when he told me I had a vision, and that vision was I saw you beating it. And at the time I saw a 3D. You know when you see the 3D version of cancer, I actually saw his foot kicking that. And I was telling him, do you know a graphic artist who can create that 3D version for me? Because that's what I see him doing, smashing it. Then I said, okay, there was a South African lady who came on your program and she came to Jamaica. This is years and years and years ago. And I saw her putting some ring around his neck and giving him a staff. I said, send me that photo because I can see that photo in my head. You're gonna smash this. And as I said it, victory is mine. And I said, God gave Big Stone the victory.
Yep. And now I have
Wow.
staff and I know an ambassador. Yes, man.
Aye.
So we're gonna root them out. When you stop do it, man. And I wish you all the best on the other 2, 3, 4 shows coming up. I want
Mhm.
everybody to tell a friend. I want to big up Duke Sparky Melody, man. I
Yeah,
salute you too for listening to Sparky. Big up yourself. I will love you, man. And
yeah,
guess me nah stop fight the fight. Me nah stop help people. Me nah stop do the things what me I do. Me I tell you, me nah stop do it. Me not
yeah,
stopping at all.
yeah, yeah, for real.
That is the
So,
purpose. That is your purpose, sir,
mhm,
to keep it moving. The mission continues.
yeah,
The
yeah,
Exactly.
mission continues. That's
And
it.
when we read this world of this overgrowth, we cannot eradicate it. Only the Almighty God can do that. But
That's
if
right.
you bring the awareness level, like what you guys are doing, is remarkable.
mhm,
Early detection save life. If we
yeah,
have this campaign going on the radio, the television, on YouTube, because people spend a lot of stupid time talking about stupid things that
mhm,
will not affect the massive. This we know will affect the massive. Once you tune in and you watch this program, and you see what Sharon Mango did and 10 Star General and what I did collectively, then we can see how powerful we have worked together as a team. All right?
and um, and
100%.
there's something that we started, which was inspired by me being diagnosed with a cancer. And one thing the surgeon told me, because he told me to revisit, us, having the prostate removed. So that's why I had a change of heart. And I said, you know what? I'm going to vouch for radiation. But he gave me 4 months to lose some weight, eat properly, eat the right foods. Let's do another PSA test and see where we are, you know? And in that moment, between Sparky Melody and I said, you know what? I'm going to start a walk and talk group. And just through my conversations with Sparky Melody, we say, yeah, let's do a walk and talk. And it's been gaining little traction. We've had quite a few people who've been part of this journey, walking and talking about, our medical, our health, basically. And we walk, I don't know, how many miles do we do, Sparky? I think it's about like a couple of miles anyway. You should know Labor Grove to Holland Park, Sharon.
Oh, shoot. My gosh. Ooh, that's a good work. 5, 6, maybe almost 10 miles?
I'm not too sure if it's 10 miles, but we do a couple of miles anyway.
No,
And
that's a long walk. A
yeah,
Yeah,
good
that's
walk,
a long
though.
walk, man.
That's a
Long
mighty
walk to
walk.
freedom.
My man.
so hopefully one day my belly will be small like Big Stone.
Yeah, man, of course. And I guess what? I want to invite you to Jamaica too, man, to come and get some.
Yeah, I
And I
need
want
to.
to invite 4.2 miles you walk with
Oh,
Sparky.
Yeah,
Wow.
4.2 miles it
Yeah.
was.
And I want to big up DJ Maestro. And thank you so much for that blessing, my brother. And I want to say this. I used to live to eat. Now
Mm,
I eat.
eat
used
to
to
live.
live.
And they say if you don't let food be your medicine, and
Hmm.
your medicine is going to be your food.
Yeah.
Which one you prefer? 100 capsule and ray, and this and chemotherapy and all kind of stuff? Or you prefer some fresh vegetables? Some
Yes, fresh vegetable.
pineapple, some fruit. But you're just thinking about the mango. You know what I mean, Sharon? And the watermelon, and the sour sap. What they say, what sour sap has is like 10,000 times better than chemotherapy or radiation.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
10,000, no one,
Mm.
10,000 times better. So if you feed by your sour sap, leave them and heat the sour sap raw. A long time I know it up all. Can be greedy in the 10 star. When I
Mm.
sap it up a big boat, this, sour sap, sour sap. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Great, man. But it has been a nice day. Anything else in parting you want to say to I and I?
Well, I just want to just big up Sam Palou as well, down there in Jamaica, big time producer up in Jamaica. He said, Tesla, come to Jamaica. I think in his compound, he has a whirl of soursop. He said,
Yes.
I've got soursop.
You talk about Sampalu.
You can
Sampalu's
eat.
my friend, you know.
All right, see it there.
Yeah,
He
man.
said,
Sampalu, I'm a bona fide brethren, man, and me supposed to give him an interview too.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
call him after me come off air show and say, you know, say, Sample, you shouldn't do that, Sampalu, man. And when we say, you set my best friend 10 star for me now, man.
Yeah, we did interview him.
Now, for give you interview ASAP, you know, because I don't want me and 10 star fall out, you know, man.
Yo,
Oh man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. 3 times a week, 13
yeah,
times.
13 times, 13 miles per week. I need to
There
start
you
doing that because
Yeah.
I don't need no cane no more, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sing this for you before you go. My voice is not that good, but I want to share it with you. At my lowest moment, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I remember this song, and it says, I shall not die, but live and declare the words of the Lord. Amen. I shall not die, but live and declare the words from our mouth. Amen. 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 I'm alive.
Rup, rup, rup.
All the glory.
Thank you to every single person who was here today to hear Big Stone's story and my story briefly. You know, we thank you. We're going to keep this going for as long as we can because between Sharon and I, we know quite a few people who are suffering from one thing or the other. I have a family member who's suffering from MS, you know. So we want to normalize talking about our health so that we can influence each other to do better by themselves. And hopefully, you know, prolong your life just by talking about it will make you get up one day and say, I've got to get myself checked out. You know what I mean? And you never know what you may find. But we wish you all well. We're going to keep this going. Tomorrow's another day. Sharon, if you lead us out, we'll end the show and we'll be back here, same time, same place, 4 p.m. tomorrow. Big Storm.
Man, Big
Sharon.
Stone, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm hoping that today's program is going to move mountains. You are an amazing man. Thank you for your time. Keep up the good works. God not ready for you yet.
No, sir, not at all.
Story to tell. You have
I mean, want come to England, come walk 13 miles a week with Sparky and 10 stars. Sparky,
yes.
I walk 13 miles, you don't know. Look out, it's going forward.
Yes. See, we love that. We have to check up on each other. That means appearing. Well,
Yeah.
when we come into Jamaica, but it is soon enough. England, we're coming. We're here to do this work. Big Stone again. Blessings upon blessings. We will be back tomorrow
Yeah.
with Lascelles Douglas and Michael Mendez on part 2 of prostate cancer and how early detection saves lives.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a video before we end. And it's an important video because it's got loads of information.
Yeah.
And it's when Big Stone's friend, the leader of the opposition, Mark Golden, had sent out a message on behalf of Big Stone. Big Stone, just very quickly, very briefly, talk about how that message came to be. I'll play it and we'll end the show.
Well, to be honest with you, when I first realized that Jamaica is the leading country for prostate cancer anywhere in the world, and how much of us are dying, and the fact that the awareness level was at an all-time low, they talk about everything else, but not about the fact that prostate cancer are killing us at an alarming rate. So I became angry and I became informative, and I said, I'm going to every level possible. The Prime Minister came out and said it after Mark Golden, but he did. and I asked the comrade leader personally if he could be an ambassador for prostate cancer, and he said yes. And this is what he gave us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, comrade leader. You saved so many lives, sir. Thank you.
This is a message from Mark Golden. We're out of it, people.
So I'm doing this video in solidarity with my brethren Big Stone, who recently was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. Big Stone, keep the faith. The battle will be won. People, did you know that prostate cancer is the most common form of cancer in men other than skin cancer? It is the second leading cause of cancer deaths after lung cancer. And it is especially prevalent in men who are 40 and upwards, and men of African descent. Early detection is crucial. This is not something to feel any way about, something to get embarrassed about. It can save your life, and the other people who are depending on you will expect you to do what you can to save your own life. Thanks to advancements in medicine, there are non-invasive tests like the PSA test. The prostate specific antigen test is a long word for that can identify high levels of PSA, which are indicative of a risk of prostate cancer, and help early detection so that the chances of full recovery are greater. So let's raise awareness and let's encourage our men to get tested. For the people of South St. Andrew, of which I have the honor of being a member of parliament, we will be having a health fair early in February, at which, among other things, PSA tests and the digital rectum test will be available. So I encourage each and every one to take advantage of that, and we'll be sending around the town crier in due course to give you more details as to when it will be and where and so on. But this is not something that we can lay about. It's a very critical thing in Jamaica. Too much people are dying of this thing, and too many people I know have been afflicted by it for me to do nothing. So hence, I'm putting out this video in support of Big Stone. Big Stone, one love.